Hi everyone. Today I want to show you how to simply write and read JSON because it has a lot of lines. If you work with it often, it can be useful. Okay. Generally, it's opens by this function. Everyone who learned Python knew it. Then we just should to create the name of file, or if we want to read it, we should put here path and name to this file. Then we have mode. It has a lot of types. For example, W for writing. If we want to write file, R for reading. If we want to read it, RB for reading bytes, and WB for writing bytes. And there are a lot of modes you can read it about in documentation. Now we can read the file. Now we already have some file for test, and then also we should use encoding. Generally, it's UTF, but a lot of platforms have some different encoding. Now we will use I'm sorry, it's terrible, UTF-8 as F, for example. Then this F we will ask to read our file, yeah, and we call them like just file. Okay, so now we can check it. Print file, let us see. Okay, I'm sorry, text is text. Okay, it's our file, it's okay, everything is right. So we want to simplify it. How we can to do it? We can just create def, let's call them like read, because we want to read now, read the file, okay? And then what we need to do is it's file name, mode, and type of encoding. So let's put here file name, mode. Not mod we already will have because it's read only R, so we can just leave it and add here only encoding. Let's call them him like encode, and generally leave it like UTF-8 because we often use this. So then we already have already our function, but now we want to call them like this. And I will leave encoding will our encode input, which will input. So now we should just return our file. Yeah. Let's test this function. Read file and put here file name. Our file name will like text.txt. Then encoding. Just leave it because encoding UTF, it's okay. We just want to print it. Okay. Ctrl+R. Yeah, it's okay. It works. If we even can check it by this. Yeah, file. Okay, let's change it. So now we have our function just in one line, instead of all these lines. So I want to show you how to write it also, and also how to read and write JSON files. Let's create a new function. It will write function. Let's create it. Rediff. Open the brackets. Let's because we want to write now, we want to have to put here our data, our variable, which we will write it. Then we want to create file name, but like this, okay. Maybe it can be in the future like none, because we will use var name function. I will show you. Okay, and type. Let's it will our mode like W because we want to write. Okay, encoding we should use. Let's call them encode like UTF-8 because it's generally we I should use. You can use anything you want. Okay, I want to create some functions that will check the data. If file name none, it will create file with name of our variable in our code. Okay, so I can recommend you to install here these libraries. Install, or you can install it in just in your project only. Install. It calls like warning. This library helps us to return warning from our code. Yeah. Okay. We should find our file name, so we can check it if file name is known. Our file name will like this. Warning. I'm sorry, I didn't install it. Okay. Now it's better. Warning that name of, then which data we want to check, and then in what level it was, because we get it from function. It's not first level. If it will be outside of function, you can just leave it, but in the function we should use frame and to. Okay, so if it none, it will use like name of variable. Yeah. Then I want to check type of our data. Data. If it will list or type data, it's did. I'm sorry, it will in the future because I didn't create a function for JSON. Okay, let's leave it. Let's pause it. Yeah. If type data str, we can do like this. File name. It's just if it needed for you. Not like this. And then we should do the same process. I just copy paste this, and if its type of data will as a byte, what's problem? Come to distant. Okay, got it, because we should use it here. And yes, and if sorry, it is also all if variable is none. If it not none, it's else. It will like this. Because when we will use file name, we already have file name path for them. We don't want to pop this and this and take name of variable, because we have our name which we imagine created. Okay, let's test. Write it, and we want to write this variable, for example, um, something. Sorry, A or apple test. Let's write apple, just apple, name of variable. So now look here, see here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's test it. Yes, apple, and this has text.txt. Everything is works is correct. Apple.txt. We can put here anything if our type is. Now we didn't use a JSON. So now we want to, for example, put here some list, you know. But now it will create number. Let's check the bytes, because we have bytes, type of bytes. Let's check bytes. For example, bytes, anything. Let's check bytes. Oh, here our file. It calls like our variables without txt, and it writes correctly. Okay, let's create some name. Or first it's data, then file name. We can put here that we can create name for our file. For example, our file name. Oh, okay, because it's txt, he can't to put here. Okay, our file. Let's check it. Where everything is okay. Everything is okay. So now I want to show you how to do the same, but for data, for example, list or dict, because it generally we use for them JSON files, or database. But now we want to just write it. It's used a lot of times, So I just want to delete here. Okay, delete not here. Let's start JSON files. JSON files. Sorry for my English, because it's not my native language. But I think you will just see my code. Okay. I call them making it easier to write JSON. Let's start div. Alright. Now it will J. Let's put here data, because we want to write file name. Let's put here also none, because we will also use for name function, and type will our mod for writing, because we can use it for writing byte and other types. Now we want to write, so let's leave it like W. Then, for JSON we should do the same operation, like with open encode. Okay, got it. We forgot about encode. Type is for some code like edf8. For JSON, JSON also writes like JSON, not like a file, so it writes like JSON. We should import it first. I forgot about it. Import JSON. It already installed in Python, so it's easy to import JSON. And we want to dump, dump, and also what we want to dump. For file, we put file or our data here, but JSON works quite another way. We be careful. Our data will here data. Then what we want to put, it's our f. It's this. We just open the file, but now enter in here. We work with this file. Then JSON also has indent. I don't sure what does it mean exactly. Indent will here, but I'm sorry. Indent means that I know what does it mean. What does it mean? It means the space which will in the JSON. I will show you. Generally, it's for better reading for human, not for computer. And also it has this and 3 ASCII. Yeah. Generally, I leave it like false. I don't exactly what does it mean this, but if when I work with Cyrillic, I don't know how does it go in English. You can have problem if you have some variable, some information not in English, So if you work not only with English, I leave here ensure ASCII false, and here we just write the same. Ensure ASCII. It's this and this. It means that this variable is false because ensure ASCII is ensure ASCII here is false. So now indent the same. It is 4 because it will mirror here, and we leave it like 4 false. But then you can change it. If you leave it, pass it in your function, it will is 4. But if you want to change it, you can then when you will write your function, you can change it. For example, you can use some data, I don't know, name of file. You can leave it will none, and you can, for example, indent like 7. I just explain it for beginner. And I want to create the same function which I use for file. If we don't want to write every time name for file, you can also check input file name. If it's none, if it was posted, you can just write file name. Is file name is var name, but the name of data and frame is 2 because it's in the function. Also, because we work only with JSON, I write here plus the .json. So now we created this function. Okay. Let's test it. So now we can create some variable. No, okay, var. In the Python you can't write var. In other language you can't do it. So let's use it because we can't do it. Var, and let's write some list. I don't know, like this, and then we want to write it in JSON file. We can just use our function write j and put here var. Okay, let's check it. This text because he argues for here. I just can load it. Yeah. He created older function. Here we have JSON. Here we see the same. Let's check it for the dictionary. Let it be a, and let's write here something, and let's create like this. I don't know. Okay, and also I show you what will if we put here our name, our test dict name. .json. You also can use here your path. You can path here something, you know, but now we wouldn't do it. Also, let's show you indent. We can put it to 7 for them or 8. Let's see what will. Yeah, it's created our file with no name. Yeah, indent means this, you know. Let's pass it just. Yeah, it's our JSON. Now we can use it. Also, what I want to do. It's you can do not do it, but I will do it. I will put it on the top, you know, this function on the top. I don't know why here. It's here and here where we writing file. We can check our data, this data, input data, if it will list or delete. We can write it of data is list, okay, or type of data is delete. Okay. Okay, let's check it for it. F and V. Let's try it. Control R. Let's create a JSON file. But if you want to write it exactly like file, you can just choose file name and something test txt, for example. It already will understand that the file name is not known. It has name. Let's check it how does it work. Yeah, it's create our file, but without any information because he was mistake. Right argument must be external list. Yeah, it's okay. It's work correct because we cannot to write just list to the file. We should, for example, like this maybe. Okay, let's try. Yeah, but it's already not JSON file. You know, it's text. It's just text. Okay, that's all. It was class how to write simply and read simply JSON and just file. You see that we can just by one line read and write files. I already have prepared functions for this, making it easier to read JSON, write JSON, read file, write file. You can use it if you want. I will put a link to the GitHub below. Also, it has a function for repetitive. I doesn't pretend to be to use the best way to do it because I know I'm not professional. If you looking something professional, you should read more documentation, more good guys. But if it can be useful in your work, in your job, in your practice, I will glad to help you. It's my little bit contribution to you. Thank you for your attention and see you in my next video. Bye.